Hello, I'm Colette. I'm here with an informal Let's Chat video, which I tend to do when certain things feel right to talk about. I don't overthink these, so they can seem a wee bit random, but it's something that maybe takes my attention that I want to talk about at the time. So this is a Let's Chat video, and what I'd like to talk about today is how to find happiness now. That may sound odd to you, but what happened was a couple of nights ago, I hadn't slept very well. My pain wasn't good and I had a flare up. And I was up during the night and feeling dreadful. And in the middle of it, I was kind of dotting in and out of social media, and I was on Facebook and I saw a friend's photo of her two daughters, and it got me thinking of my own two daughters and how proud I am of the way that they're going forward in life at the moment. And I found in amongst the pain that I actually was feeling very, very happy. And that was great. That felt like, wait a minute, I'm identifying this emotion here. I'm not feeling great. I'm up in the middle of the night. I'm really sore, but that sense of thinking of my daughters and seeing that photo of my friend's daughters just made me happy. And then I kind of thought, I'll need to try and think more about that, because that might be helpful to other people. However, I was tired. I slept most of the yesterday. And then I had a few clients to see. And one of them was the most beautiful wee lass who had taken on board stuff that I'd said to her the year previously and actually was in a really good place in her life. And she'd worked at it. And she was happy, even though past maybe wouldn't have been so good. She'd been through things like everybody has. And I thought, I looked at her happiness, she's half the age of me. And she'd found it, but she'd worked at it. And I've certainly worked at finding happiness and contentment. And that's what I then thought, well, can I put that into maybe 10 points that I could pass on to people? If you're interested, I'm going to do that in a wee minute. So that's how this came about, that I was looking at myself feeling happy in a difficult situation, and a lovely young woman who was finding happiness in her life by helping herself along magically and really enjoying the moment. So first thing, let me say something. There's a season for everything in life. This video isn't for you or aimed at you if you have been bereaved or you're in a terrible state of sadness because something's happened. That would be wrong. Some of the points in it might help you to move forward a wee bit at a time. I'm not saying that, but please don't think that I'm sitting here saying you should be happy now, because no, it's not like that. If you're grieving, you're grieving. If you're in a time of mourning, so be it. That's the way you're meant to be. And I remember the day before my dad's funeral in my 30s, it came home to me because I'd gone to get my hair cut just to look a wee bit groomed for his funeral. And as I come out, it was a terrible haircut anyway, but that wasn't the problem. As I come out the shop, this stupid, idiotic man turned and said, "Cheer up, darling, smile, it'll never happen." And I remember looking at him and thinking, oh, but it has. I've lost my dad. My dad's died. How dare you? How dare you tell me to smile or keep my chin up? I think the look I gave him kind of made him turn and walk the other way. I think he realised that I was not happy about being told to be happy. But in that day, it kind of came to me that I would never, ever use that phrase with someone else. Cheer up, it might never happen. Well, sometimes in life, it has happened. And if you're in that place in your life, I'll send out healing to you. You're in my prayers. It will pass. But this video is mainly for the day-to-day things that, we've all got stress, we've all got tension, we've all got sometimes jobs that go wrong, we've got families, we've got children, we've got financial stuff, illnesses, and they're all part of life. And it's important that you don't let them get you down. It's important that even in stressful times that you can find some sort of contentment inside and some sort of happiness. And that's what this video is about. So let me just get started or I'll go on forever. I need my glasses for this. The first thing I wanted to talk about, excuse my voice, is to realise that you're a soul having a human experience in a human body. Now, why is that so important? Well, if you think of yourself as a body first with a soul that's somehow there or up there or down there or in your big toe, wherever you think your soul is, then the body takes on a precedence that it really shouldn't have. But if you can think of yourself as a soul first that's having a human experience in a human carrier or chariot, then the body becomes secondary. It doesn't mean it doesn't matter, it does matter. But the soul is eternal, the soul is pure, the soul is here for that experience. Your body is the chariot for this life. Say it like your soul's driving your body and your body's the car. Now, your soul might be a really good driver this life. It might not. It might be learning to drive. It might be learning to do all sorts of things. And that's the soul's experience. But you could also have been given the equivalent of a Mercedes-Benz for a body. You could have been given a four-wheel drive, a kind of sturdy thing. You could have been given a wee utility vehicle. You could have been given a tank, for God's sake. Or you could have been given a clapped out old banger, who knows. But that's not really important. It's the soul that's important. So by all means, understand that your body's there, but by remembering that you're a soul first, the body then doesn't have such a massive part of your attention, if you see what I mean. Because if you're in pain and your body's not performing well, if you can't keep in mind that you're a soul and the soul is experiencing this, then the pain, the anxieties and stuff will get you down. So I need you to think bigger and remember that you're a soul in a body having a human experience, and that will help. Think on that one for me if you can. Now, number 2, I think it's a really important thing to do. It's look at yourself through loved one's eyes. We're all too good at looking at ourselves and saying, you know what, don't like this bit, don't like that bit, not a good person. And sometimes we blame ourselves for things. Sometimes we feel we're responsible. Sometimes we don't like bits about our body. We don't like bits of our personality. But if you looked at yourself from the people that love you, your friends, your family, you would probably see a very different person. You know, you would, you know, even ask people if you've got the courage, what is it that you like about me? And people could say, well, you're very kind, or you're funny, or you're always helpful, or oh, I love your smile. All these things are the way people perceive us, particularly perceiving us with love. And we sometimes don't realise that. So it's quite a simple one to do. If you don't want to ask people, because that could seem a wee bit egotistical, but if you don't want to ask people, you know, think of your friends and family and think of why they continually love you, what they want from you when they're with you. Do they enjoy your hugs? Do they enjoy your comfort? Do they enjoy that you make great toast and cheese? Doesn't matter, but try and see yourself through other people's eyes, and that will give you a wee boost, okay? And it's not just about the way you look and whatever, it's about the things that you give, your personality, your mind. But that's a really good one to do. Point 3 is be mindful, and to help you be mindful, I think it's important to meditate. I'm not going to say too much on mindfulness because there's a million other videos out there, but try to be present in the moment. Whatever you're doing, try to focus on that. Try not multitask too much. Make sure that if you're doing something, you're in that moment. And that will give you a greater appreciation of that moment. Life passes very quickly. I can't believe I'm 55 this year, and that 55 years is just boom. And sometimes I look back. Now, I've always been pretty mindful. What I used to do was when I was in a good thing, maybe on holiday, or I'd had an experience that I loved, I would come home that night and think on it over and over and over again. And it would kind of get planted in my mind, so that when I was a wee bit low, I would go back and pull those memories out. And that was me possibly being mindful before mindfulness became a kind of popular term. But I always find if something good's happening, think of it again, remember it, think of it, get it in your brain, and then you'll remember it when you need it. But being mindful makes everything better. You know, if you're walking along the road, feel the wind, feel your steps. If you're having a nice dinner, don't just shovel it down, taste it, be part of that meal. When you're with people, don't be on your phone, chugging away, looking at Facebook, looking at this. Be with the people. Be mindful of your situation, and you'll find the more that becomes a habit, the more that you're enjoying things. And I'm sure you could look up far more on mindfulness, but that's my kind of take on it. Okay. Number 4, I think is really important. It's be in harmony with others. Now, there's the Native American saying, walk in beauty, balance and harmony. Now, if you're in harmony with other people, you're not putting yourself out of harmony as well, if you see what I mean. If you are being compassionate and kind and you're helping people, you're not really doing anything to put them out of harmony or balance. But if you're being nasty to them, you're putting them out of balance. If you're gossiping about them, you're putting them out of balance. If you're not giving them the love they deserve, you're putting them out of balance. If you're withholding something from them, you're putting them out of balance. That then puts you out of balance. It doesn't do you any good. So if you can live in harmony with other people and be watchful of how you're treating them, then that will keep you in harmony too. Be compassionate, be kind, and be very respectful. I don't think there's an awful lot of respect in the world at the moment, and I'm not talking like, respect for, specifically respect for elders or respect. That word's gone out of fashion. But if we're respectful to the earth, if we're respectful to people, if we're respectful to our children, if we're respectful to our neighbours, then you will be in harmony, and you'll help them be in harmony, and that'll help you be in harmony too. So that's one I practice a lot. I just want to be known for being compassionate and kind, and that'll do me. Right, 5th, honour the earth, and in doing that, it's important that, as well as honouring the earth, that you get out in nature. If you are feeling all stressed and clogged up and life's getting too hard, the best thing you can do is get out into the elements. Not today, we've got a gale and a storm out there, it's blowing a hoolie. So yeah, but even if you wanted to, you could go out there, it's just not very safe. However, get out in nature, go a wee walk. I love going to the sea, whether it's sunny or whether it's middle of winter, and just letting the energy of the sea sort of be there for me, very cleansing. Go in the forest, go in your back garden, plant things, but don't stay in the same 4 walls all the time, because a connection with nature will allow you to enjoy it, and it will also make you more respectful of it. It'll allow you to see why things like recycling is important, not throwing litter is important. Where I live is absolutely beautiful, a lot of lovely lanes round about it, and we do get a lot of cyclists and a lot of runners that choose this route, and that's great. Love seeing them. There's also a lot of horses, and it's beautiful to see them too. But what really annoys me is I go out on a Monday morning, I'm going down the lane, and there'll be at least 2 discarded cans of juice or water bottles, and there might even be, other things discarded, and it really annoys me, because why not just take them home with you and put them in the bin? Why put them out in nature? That could injure an animal. A fox could get his nose stuck in a plastic bottle, whatever. you see where I'm coming from. But the more you're out in nature and the more you're seeing the way it works, the more respectful that you will be. But nature really is amazing. And it allows you to see the beauty and everything. Snowdrops are coming up outside, and that just made me happy yesterday, just the fact that I could see the little snowdrops coming up. So try and get out in nature if you can. Right. Number 6 can be a wee bit controversial because I've said find something to believe in. Now, I'm not really into organised religion. I think it causes an awful lot of trauma in the world. I even say that my path is a path, it's not a religion. I don't follow a religion as such. So why, am I saying find something to believe in? Because if you have a belief in something bigger or something there, even if it's like a sense of a belief in nature, a belief in Mother Earth, a belief in a deity, a belief in Great Spirit, then it's actually been scientifically proven that people who have a belief in something actually manage to weather the storms a wee bit. But I'm saying belief rather than faith. I think it's a belief. So although I don't have organised religion, I do have a belief in life after death. I have a belief in reincarnation. I have a belief in Mother Nature and how amazing she is. I have a belief in that I'll see my parents and my family in spirit again. These sort of beliefs help. So if you're an atheist, that's fine. Believe in yourself. Believe in your own inner spirit. Believe in your own strive for perfection. Follow some Buddhist stuff or whatever. This sense of a belief in something, and it doesn't need to be a god and it doesn't need to be a goddess, but it needs to be something. And if you can find a belief that you can cling on to when things get a wee bit down, it'll help you be happier. Okay, I know that's quite a controversial one, but these are my opinions only. You could say a load of nonsense, and that's fine, but I'm here today to tell you what gets me through and keeps me happy. And my spiritual path, oh my God, it keeps me going every day. I see beauty in everything, and I absolutely adore my path. And I hope that I never stop believing in it, because it's perfect for me, and that's what matters. Right, number 7, never stop learning. Never, 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 never. Always be curious. Always want to know, what's that about? What's that about? How does that work? You might not understand, but you might be able to just glean something. For my books and my writing, I'm always reading other books because, they help give you ideas. To be a good writer, you need to be a good reader. So I learn a lot through books, but I've never stopped learning. First I learned to be a pharmacist, then I learned how to be a proper clairvoyant. Okay, it was a natural gift, but I learned the tarot, I learned the runes, I learned whatever. And then I learned about writing techniques, and I learned how to write, and I learned how to market, and I learned how to do my own website. And even at this age, I'm learning about YouTube. I say this age as though I'm ancient, but I know a lot of women and men in their 50s that really don't get the computer world or the world of social media. So to me, having made my own website and having looks like going to be a really kind of busy YouTube channel is something to be proud of. So if you keep learning, your brain is always, thinking of something. It's always asking a question. Probably the underriding thing of always learning is, I could say, keep being curious. Learn more by just your own curiosity. So go back to being a wee bit like a child. Children don't think twice about saying, "Hey mum, how does that work? how does that? I mean, I remember particularly with my elder daughter, it was like why, and then more why, and that's great. But we need to be more like that. We need to go back to when we were children and just destroyed our parents by constant questioning. So be curious and learn some. Never stop learning. Number 8, distance yourself from negativity and negative people. How often have we heard that? But it's true. For you to have happiness, you're cultivating a wonderful energy. Sometimes there's just the flow of life makes us happy, you know, a celebration, a wedding, a baby being born, you know, maybe getting a certificate of some type. These things make us happy. But in day-to-day life, sometimes you have to cultivate that a wee bit. You have to be like, right, okay, it's not a great day outside, I'm not feeling well. I can choose to be yucky, down, or I can choose to be happy. Now, this, I'm not saying if you have depression or a mental health issue or whatever that doesn't allow that, please no, I'm not pointing this at you. If you can take steps to get help and you're working with your mental health issue, that's brilliant. That's wonderful. Just getting along every day, if you've got a condition like that, is fighting a battle that other people aren't necessarily fighting. If you have any mental health conditions, believe me, you have to look after that first and then think about what I'm saying. Maybe use some of the techniques individually, but don't think I'm saying to anyone depressed or whatever, you know, blah, 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 don't be negative. But in normal day-to-day life, you'll generally have people that carry very negative energy. They maybe are gossips, they maybe have nothing nice to say about people, they never are positive, there's always a moan, there's always a negativity, there's always something. You know the type of person I'm talking about. Right, okay, don't necessarily banish someone that needs your help or would be wanting to change in some way, but if a person is just totally negative, and worse, they're negative to you, they do things to turn your head inside out that get you thinking negative thoughts about yourself, that's the type of person should not be in your life. No ifs, no buts. If someone's doing your head in, if someone is making you feel low, making you question yourself as a good person, bringing you unhappiness for no apparent reason, then they're gone. One of the ways you can do that is go to one of the videos called Cutting the Cord and have a wee look at that if you are in that situation. So negative people that are negative for the sake of being negative should not be in your life. Please think about that one. Also, don't let negativity in. I'm a great one for, you know, I'm quite political. So I have to look at things to know what's going on. But I don't like seeing trauma. I don't really watch traumatic films. I know that sounds crazy, but I don't like blood and gore. Not necessarily. I don't like to feel that energy. So I don't do things like that. Up to a point, I've started watching Game of Thrones. Whether I get through it or not, I don't know because it is pretty gory. But up till now, I've kind of pushed myself away from things that would stick in my head, that would make me feel negative or go round and round in my head. And it's easier to do sometimes than others, but, you know, I wouldn't necessarily read a book that was terrifying me. I wouldn't read a book that maybe was very, 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 very distressing, in a way that it didn't need to be. But I will read autobiographies and biographies that maybe people have been through a lot. If it's real, and I need to read it, I will. But if it's something like a film or a book that's just terrifying, then I probably won't. And that's my way of keeping kind of negativity and even negative thoughts away. So try and keep your auric space, your aura, your home clean. clean of negativity, clean of negative people. Smudge your house, smudge your aura. There's a video on smudging, how to smudge further down or further up. I'm not sure where this will go. So please try and push negativity away from you. Right, 2 more, and I think they're lovely ones. Number 9 is be authentic. And that just means be yourself. Don't put on airs and graces. Don't try to be someone you're not, because people will see. People are not stupid. If you're trying to act out something that you're not, or even, worse, if you're trying to let on that you've knowledge that you don't have, that you know all about something when you really don't, people see that and right away they question, are you a truthful person? And if you're not authentic, people will know that. And it's just not a nice situation to be in. Always be authentic. Know where you came from. That's always important to me. I know people come from maybe council estates or whatever, and then before you know it, that's been wiped out of who they were and where they ever existed. And that is so wrong. You have to remember where you came from to know where you're going. And that is really important. So be authentic. Don't put on airs and graces. Don't act as though you were brought up in a castle if you were brought up in a council estate. There's no point. It's not authentic. Okay, so strive to be what you need to be, but always be authentic while you're doing it. And that works for spirituality as well. Some people say, well, shouldn't my spirituality is shamanic and it follows a Native American point of view. Does that mean I'm being authentic? I'm obviously not Native American, but my guide that was gifted to me at birth is. And I kind of just follow him, and it's something I've been very familiar with. So in that way, I can say, no, I'm not Native American. Of course I'm not, but I am authentic in the way that I follow that path. And that's the way I get round it. Because sometimes, white people that are following a Native American path on the surface or whatever, the slang term for them is apples, like they're white on the inside, red on the out. And I can understand that. Here's a race that, really have nearly been annihilated, and then other people are using their spirituality. But a lot of the teachers I've had who have been Native American have passed that on to me, and I'm very grateful for that. So even if you are, a Scottish person following, say, doing Reiki, you can still be authentic with it. If you, my goddess is Durga as well, so I'm kind of this Scottish woman following a Hindu goddess as well. It's all a muddle, but it works because I'm authentic, okay? And the last one, which is just probably the best one, well, they're all important, is love yourself. Learn to love yourself. Stand in front of the mirror and tell yourself the things that you like about yourself, and find one every day. I mean, you don't need to keep doing this all the time. If you do, then have that sense of your own worth. But if you're feeling very vulnerable and you don't like yourself, I need you really to come clean, look at yourself in the mirror and pick something that you like about yourself. And believe me, there'll be something. And then the next day, choose something else. And then the next day, choose something else. It could be, I like my eyes, I like my ankles, I like my sense of humour, I like that I'm a good mum. Think about it. It's not all about looks, it's about you, it's about looks, it's about personality, it's about who you see yourself as. Stop seeing yourself as not a great person, because this takes us right back to number 1. You are a soul in a human body having a spiritual, physical existence. And your chariot, your body might not be perfect, and even your mind might not be perfect, but your soul has chosen your body to have the experience in, and that makes it a damn good thing. So enjoy your physicality, enjoy your mind, enjoy the special things that are you, because your soul wouldn't have chosen your chariot, your body, unless it had been relevant to the things it wanted to discover this life. And if you can remember, going right back to the start, your soul is eternal, it's wonderful, it's consciousness, it's all you need, but it's here and now. You've been given a body, you've been gifted the chariot, and it's time to enjoy it, have the human experience, and possibly the best part of the human experience is being happy. So, I hope you've enjoyed my 10 points to being happy now, and I hope that you can take some of them on, or you find that some of them are relevant to you. It's just I've reached this age and I'm a happy person and I'm contented in my soul. And yeah, there's things that don't go right for me, and there's worries I have that get me down. But I can still look at a wee flower and think, that's beautiful, life's beautiful. I can still look at my wee dog and think, oh my God, I adore you. I can look at my children and my husband and rejoice at their smiles. And that comes from in here. And I would not let anyone take that away from me. I have in the past. But no, not now. Because once you reach that stage of contentment and you've grasped it, you're very unlikely to let it go. So you have to stand in your own power. You have to choose not to give that power away, and choose never to let anyone take that power from you. And by power, I mean your inherent strength of spirit. Okay, so that was a bit of a mad let's chat. Hope you join me another time for the weekly tarot card. The other videos that maybe have come out of this are cutting of the cord, meditation video, and I think that's it. Can't remember. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to my babbling on, and I hope some of this benefits you, because it certainly benefited me. Many blessings from a very stormy Scotland, and I'll see you again soon.